Hey guys. Hi Swifter. Yeah, I'm sorry, sweetie. I am quite drugged up on morphine. Um, because, well, yeah. Because I have some stress induced new ME symptoms. Uh, and they think that I've gotten, what was it called again? That I've gotten a peripheral neuropathy or a peripheral neuritis. It's an inflammation of the central nervous system that is not located in the brain or the spine. And it's been, my arms have been bugging me for a while. And during the night, my legs started swelling up really bad. It's done it a couple times before. It did it about a month ago, and I thought it was just. I thought it was because I had screwed around with my foot, so I actually thought I had sprained it. But it turns out that it looks like it is actually. Hey, can you guys not fight? Hey, Nicholas, stop picking on her. But yeah, it turns out that it is. It is more than likely a stress-induced ME symptom. So, yay on me. The emergency doctor came at 7 o'clock this morning and gave me some morphine, and then I talked to the doctor at 8. I got through no, not at 8, around 8:45. I started calling at 8. They have an hour of opening of the phones. So I started calling at 8 and finally got through around 8:45. And then I sat here until around 11? Waiting for my friend to come back to town. She had taken her husband to work. So she came back to town, stopped by me, picked up my bank card and my health insurance card, and went and got me morphine. So I've gotten a 2-week morphine prescription, and I am going in for some testing of my leg tomorrow. Some tests and scans and things and stuff, because apparently if it's an inflammation of the nerve system, it can permanently damage. It's actually quite serious. So I very much thank the job center and the social office for, again, screwing me over. It is most likely brought on by the stress of that damn letter still not arriving and my early retirement kind of being up in the air right now. So yeah, it was my lawyer that ordered me, very, very firmly ordered me to call the emergency doctor this morning, and now I'm kind of glad I did. So, yeah, I have the brains of about half a peanut, which means that I can't do anything that requires me to think. And playing with this sim, getting her through her auditions and stuff will actually require me to think. So what I'm just gonna do is I'm just gonna sit here. As you can see, I've taken my little girl here. I am working on her mining and leatherworking skills. I'm just going to be doing mining and leatherworking and goldsmithing, blacksmithing, armor crafting, and it's going to be short stream because I don't know. I just took about half an hour ago. I just took one of my morphine pills, and yeah, I'm kind of zoning. So if if I don't see your chats right away, it's not because I don't love you anymore, because I do love all of you. My ability to multitask is strongly limited. So I hope you're gonna, I hope that's okay. Because what happened during the night was actually I took some codeine along with some cannabis oil. And I took it, and it just didn't help at all. So the emergency doctor that arrived, he was like, "So what? How long have you been having this? What does it look? Oh my God, that foot does not look good. That leg does not look good. What have you taken of painkillers?" And I told him, and he's like, "And it hasn't helped." I'm like, "Nope, not at all. So he said, okay, well, there is no choice but to give you morphine. You need it because you need to be pain free. Hi, Untamed Wolf. I'm semi okay, quite loopy. I am on nice little doses of morphine, which is why it's gonna be a short stream today. The mood is pretty good though. Precisely, that is exactly what I was saying earlier in CrankH's stream. Exactly what I was saying earlier in CrankH's stream is I would rather be a little loopy on morphine than be in... last night was seriously the most severe pain I have been in as far back as I can remember. And the way the pain was acting, it was completely out of the quote-unquote normal chronic pain that I suffer from. So I knew something really bad was up. I actually thought I had gotten a blood clot in my leg. And so did my lawyer, which is why he ordered me to call the emergency doctor this morning. And yeah. Oh yeah, I know. I saw you in his stream. I've seen you in his stream a couple of times. Yeah, Crank is a great guy. So, and you know, hanging out with him a little while today just really helped my mood, because I was quite down earlier. I was quite meh about the whole thing. But the mood is a whole lot better. I've got my beautiful, loving, sweet, caring cats that have been cuddling around me all day. From what I've been told, I haven't actually noticed because I have been a lot bit loopy. So I haven't really noticed it properly. But my cats are great. They keep me company when I have the bad days and nights, and last night was really bad. So, but Crank really picked up my mood a lot. He is such a nice guy, and you know, I got a really sweet message on Twitter from Korea, and you know, people are just being super kind and understanding, and I so appreciate that. And you gotta know, okay, so you see here, this here is Vivi. Normally there's a kitten, or my big girl is laying here, keeping me company, but my kitten is in the bedroom right now. He's been put to bed with some good food, and he's happy. Because I'm not in a position right now where I can keep peeling him off my keyboard and stop him from chewing on my fingers while I game. I can't do that kind of multitasking right now. So I just need an hour or two of just, you know, hanging out with you guys, relaxing, just, you know, mining, go around, do a couple of quests, take in the sights, simple stuff, just very, very simple stuff. Let's see. Oh, I need a few more, come on, elements. Jesus Christ, I can never pronounce that word. That's a difficult word. And especially with my morphine-ridden brain. Definitely difficult. So how have your guys' day? I mean, I hope you guys have had a way better day than I have. And I hope that you're enjoying your, I'm guessing it's late afternoon, early evening for most of you. Oh, you're in school to become a veterinarian? Oh, you know what? That is so awesome. If I didn't suffer from the most insane, irrational fear of needles, and I mean literally, if I see a needle, they draw blood from me. I see the needle, I faint instantly, or I throw up. I'm terrified of needles. If it wasn't for that, I would have loved to become a vet, because animals are my passion. I've been working as a cat rescue foster mom for many years, and you know, it's my life. It's what I love to do. It's what I enjoy doing. I live with the 5 cats that are my own, and currently 3 foster cats, and out of the 5 that are mine, only one of them was one that I went and picked out on purpose. The rest of them are, well, foster failures. So, I think it's safe to say that animals and my love for them, my love for protecting them as much as possible and working hard for their rights has been the foundation, the base of my life, and what I do, what I live, breathe, and think 24/7 for the past many, many years. Ooh. Oh, are you playing Legend of Zelda on the Switch? Oh man, you know what? My biggest wish, because I have many, many days where I'm completely bedbound. I am simply unable to crawl out of bed. My biggest wish is to get a Switch. So, so when I do have the bedbound days, I can just say, well, Neener, don't care. I might be here, I might be in pain, but it doesn't mean that I can't enjoy my day regardless. I dream of getting the Nintendo Switch. Hopefully, if my early retirement does go through, I'll be able to buy one within, 6 months, hopefully in time for Christmas. I am aiming very hard for being able to purchase one during the Black Friday sales. But currently that's kind of up in the air and really unsure because of the complications regarding my early retirement. So we'll see. But that is my biggest wish, is to get one of those. And later on I'll get a capture card so I can stream the games. I'm dying for the Final Fantasy VII remake that's gonna be released on the Switch next year. That is just no. Mm-mm. I need something small that I also, it's got to be something small and portable that I can also take with me when I have it, because every now and then I've got like 3 straight weeks of nothing but hospital appointments and treatments and so on and so forth. And there's a lot of waiting time. Okay, you're here for your appointment, fine. We need you to go and have blood samples and pee samples done, so and then you get there to the blood bank, and there's like half an hour to an hour of waiting. So there's a lot of waiting time involved. So I need something portable that I can take with me and, play with on the go. A phone? Well, I have a very beat up, old, almost about to die Samsung Galaxy S7. That's not quite enough. And it, doesn't have the games that I enjoy playing. So the Switch is a big dream for me. But how big is it though? I love the Switch. I have so many friends that have Switch. So much of my Twitch fam are using the Switch. And having friends on there and playing games together and stuff, it would be so freaking fantastic. Wolf, what server are you playing on? Because currently, this character here, she is, Aura here, she is on the EU server. And my main character is actually on the US server. I am on the, what's it called? On the Primal Cluster Exodus server? Oh, you're on Crystal? Okay. Do you know if you can play together cross server like the Primal servers can play with the ones from Crystal and so on and so forth? Because I know you can I know you can play if you're within the same server cluster. You can travel between worlds and play together, but can you also do it between server clusters? Because that would be amazing. I have quite a few friends that also plays Final Fantasy and who really, really enjoy it. Some are really old Final Fantasy 14 players, and some have recently started, just very, very new players. And sadly for me, they're spread over like 25 different servers, and I'm like, but I want to play with all of you. I just can't keep up with making 25 different characters. I have one from my friends in the EU that want to play with me, and one for my friends in the US, and that's it. Thank you so much for that. for the hosty rady, Rora. Oh, that is so sweet of you. really hope that you're gonna enjoy the music. I can tell you, it has helped me through many, many sleepless nights. When you get that where your brain just goes haywire, as soon as you lay down, close your eyes, your brain goes, all right, I'm awake, let's go. Just shutting it down slowly while listening to that, and I know it's relaxing music for cats. And I found out completely by accident that it actually also worked on me. It has helped me through many, many sleepless nights. I might not always have been able to fall asleep, but it has put me into a state. It's had kind of like a meditative effect on me, to a point where I was actually capable of calming myself down, and drown the brain yapper that was going on. So it is super, super nice. It is actually created by a mix of animal behaviorists and musical scientists. It is really, really incredible, and it works. I've used it for so many feral cats I can't even count. And it has an incredible effect on cats. Sometimes I just, if I have a day where I just stay in bed because I can't get out for pain, and I don't feel like watching TV because that's too much noise for my brain to handle, and I'm super light sensitive, I have a little itty bitty nightlight kind of thing on my bed. It's a little USB thingy that looks like a Christmas tree, and it lights up and changes color. And it's really nice for me to read by when I have the really bad days. So I will flip the tablet on and go to that link and just start the music, and then I'll just sit down with a book. Just lean back on my bed with a book and just, lights. Yeah, mine ranges from a soft white, then it turns into a yellow, orange, red. And then, it goes through the entire rainbow, basically. It goes back, it goes in circles in the entire rainbow. It is so, so, so nice. It was a tiny thingy. I bought it for like $2. It was in one of those odds and ends baskets in a supermarket a long time ago. And I jokingly actually put it up a couple of years ago because I was like, my cats won't leave the Christmas tree alone, so I cannot have a Christmas tree. This is going to have to suffice. This is going to be my Christmas tree. And yeah, I found out that I actually love the light from it because it's so soft and so soothing. Currently, it is dark here. It's late at night. It's almost midnight. I have darkening curtain. I have a darkening curtain in my living room, and I have one lamp lit, and it's still a bit much because my eyes are super sensitive. So I love my little night light, and it is so nice to just sit, propped up against some pillows on the bed, and just reading a book and just listening to that music. It really it helps me de-stress. Music and the sound of water, and soft light is really important to me on the tough days. I get all my symptoms get, they flare crazy wild on lights, sounds, and smells. And lucky for me, lucky and unlucky, it's a double-edged sword right now. I live about 50 meters from the water, 50 meters from the beach. From my front door to the beach, there's about 50 meters. Before I got my illness got as bad as it is now, when I had the sleepless nights, I would make a cup of tea or coffee, walk down to the beach. They have there's some benches down there, and just sit down with my coffee or my tea and close my eyes and listen to the water. Just sit down there for like an hour or two. It is incredible, and I would do that summer and winter, not just in the summertime where it's nice and warm. I have actually been down there in heavy snow, just still listening to the sound. Winters are hard for most people because we get deprived of light and vitamin D. I know I know a few people that use one of those. They use for as like an antidepressant treatment. The sunlight, the fake sunlight lamps. Um, and apparently they have an amazing effect, but I can't use them because of my light sensitivity, so it's kind of a catch 2020 for me. I can't use them, but I am in a constant vitamin D deficit. I am taking supplements all over the place all the time. So I would love to get one of those, but can't use it, sadly. You got a headache from yours? Ugh. Is it set to the right strength? Is it the right kind? Have you tried other kinds of light thingies? I would definitely suggest the soft glow color changing lights. If you can find one in calming blue and green tones, that would, I think that would really help. I know it has helped me so much. Oh, it's your eyes. Oh, yeah. Do you suffer from light sensitivity? Like your eyeballs feel sore, like your eyeball itself feels like raw, like you've scraped it, like you scraped your skin on your eyeball, and like they're trying to explode from the inside. You don't have a headache, you have an eye ache. I know it sounds strange, but that's how it works for me. Yes, precisely. The hurt and the sting is a big problem. So while I do love the nice cozy warmth in the summertime, I it's stupid. I used to be big on always being outside all summer, yeah, like from early morning till late night, because I would soak up so much sunlight, and now I just can't. So that is one of the reasons why I love the internet. I love the internet so much because it enables me to still have fun. Um, and yeah, I'm eternally grateful to live in a day and age where we have such an invention. Uh, it's an outlet for anxiety. It's a socializing platform. It's a socializing media. It is. I mean, you socialize, you pretty much do everything. It's like for me, for example, sometimes when I have the really tough times, I can't go grocery shopping. So the ability to order groceries online and have them brought to my house is amazing. That didn't exist when I was young. I'm in. I think you were there when I said that. I'm 45. I'm in my mid 40s. That's only been a thing for like the past 10 years or so. So I'm glad my body chose to not make me ill as hell before stuff like that was invented. Anxiety and PTSD will do that. As I told you earlier, I went through the whole thing. I went through it. Lucky for me. Both good and bad, actually. Lucky for me, I've always been mentally strong. I'm a very strong person mentally. I've been through so much that no human should have to go through. But it has made me pretty strong and pretty sturdy. And I think that was one of the reasons why I managed to make it through and get my PTSD under control without a lot of help from shrinks and stuff. I had 4 sessions with a shrink, and she said, well, you already know what's wrong. You know why. You know how you can handle it. There's nothing more I can teach you. I would, if you want to continue having sessions, just come here to talk and offload, that would be perfectly fine with me. But to be honest, it would be wasting your money, because you know precisely what your problems consist of, what your challenges consist of, and you know exactly how to fix them. And you know exactly, what tools to apply and how to apply them and when to apply them. And you know that it's a matter of timing right now. There's nothing more I can do for you. But if you want to continue coming here, I would be fine with that. But I just don't waste your money on it if it's not necessary. So, yeah. Oh, you're seeing two therapists. How does that work? I mean, is that actually working for you, having two different therapists? I just had one, but it was so helpful to get some of the stuff that I had been boggling with, and some of the thoughts that I had about my PTSD, and the reasoning why I fell into the PTSD thing. It was nice to get it confirmed from a professional. So, and also getting confirmed from a professional that the things that I was doing, the techniques and stuff that I was applying on myself, because I've read a lot about psychology. Actually, when I was younger, I wanted to be a psychologist, and I was strongly urged to become a psychologist because I'm pretty good at reading people. And I am one of those that, people will come to me and like, totally spontaneously just come to me and say, can I talk to you about something? I need to talk to someone. I'm that person. Always have been. I must have an aura of you can tell me anything. I guess it's something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I want it to be, I actually want it to be a psychiatrist. But my love for animals won. Oh, thank you for the follow. Yeah, my Twitter is where I post when I go live, and post all sorts of goofy things. If you look at my timeline there, you will see that there's goofy cat pictures, silly cat videos, funny links. Sometimes I post just random crap for shits and giggles. It's where I talk about what is going on in my life. Like, I think, was it earlier today? A while back, for example, I posted a video there of me on a really, really bad day where Emmy hit me so hard. And it is only just recently that I've actually opened up completely. People have known for the last year or so that I've been ill, but I only recently opened up and told precisely how bad it is, and precisely what it consists of, because that's been really hard for me. I am still not 100% accepting the illness. I have a lot of work to do on that part, and it can take years, is what I hear from other people with ME. But I've started the process by opening up about it, and being honest, and putting the cards on the table and saying, this is why this and that, this is what happens, this is how I look on a bad day, this is how I feel on a bad day. Today is a bad day. I could use some funny pictures, I could use some hugs, I could use a little love. I will return it when I have a better day, y'all know that. But today I need you guys. So yeah, there's a little bit of everything on there. And hi Ghosty, how you doing, sweetie? I actually thought you were sleeping. So yeah, my Twitter is always a good place to check and see. I don't always remember to post when I have one of those days where I simply cannot be at the computer. But I always do post when I'm live, and in between, and sometimes I post from the bedside. I'm like, okay, look at my little nurses, and then I'll post the cats fighting on top of me on my legs, or having a laugh. We have a giggle. We cuddle, we play, we do everything. Yeah, sadly, my hiding is not voluntary at all. My hiding is caused by physical symptoms, and physical symptoms only. But I have been in the place where you are with, I had days where I would shut off the phone, shut off the computer, and literally go hide in my bed under my blankets. And that's one of the many phases of PTSD. And I think one of the turning points for me was when I finally hit the acceptance of, there is nothing wrong with you. You are not doing anything wrong. This is the illness doing what the illness does. And you need to understand that it is okay to take a time out. It is okay to say, I can't right now. Maybe I can later, maybe I can't. But if you ask me right now, I can't. And I don't want to. Because if I push myself, beyond those boundaries, I end up hurting myself more, and I'm not willing to do that. I want to be well. I don't want to make it worse. I want to make it better. So yeah, rest. It was, as I said in chat, rest, a semi firm and steady sleeping schedule, eating schedule, healthy food. I'm in a position where I can't go exercise, for example, but I can do other things. Meditation has helped me a lot, and you know that's where the beautiful cat music comes in, because it's actually excellent to meditate to. It really, really helps. There's many other ways other than exercise. I know Crank said exercise is really important, and it is, but there might be something besides PTSD or anxiety that you're boggling with. And if you're incapable of exercising for health reasons, then you obviously shouldn't press yourself or push yourself into it at all, ever. But there's so many other things that you can do. So yeah, you know, we all have unique situations and you know, different things that we all have different cards in our hands, and we got to play the hand that we've gotten, and we got to find what works for us in the best way, and continue to do that. Obviously, there are some common denominators: health, rest, plenty of fluids, and taking those 10 minutes out of your day, regardless of whatever you have to do. Take 10 minutes out of your day to just sit with yourself and breathe. Don't think of anything. Shut everything out and just sit and breathe. It is super important to be able to recharge, both mentally, emotionally, and physically. So, yeah. Alright, you know what? You have a nice session with your therapist. I hope it's going to be good and productive and helpful for you. And I am pretty sure I'll see you later. I'll find you somewhere. You know, we hang out with some of the same people. I'm gonna be streaming, as I said earlier. I'm gonna be streaming probably only for about an hour and a half. For another hour and a half, because the loopy is really, once my head starts spinning a little bit, I have to end stream. It's not quite there yet, but it's getting there. So I know I have roughly about an hour before I'm so dizzy I need to lay down and sleep, or at least try to. So I'm probably not going to be online and live when you're back, but I'll catch you one of the next couple of days. I'm glad you stopped by, and I'm glad I met you. I'm super grateful, you know, for all of the amazing people that I have met on Twitch. Twitch has definitely made shut up, phone. I'm sorry, my phone. It's definitely made a massive change and a massive impact on my life, and yeah, I don't even want to think about where I would have been if it wasn't for Twitch. Hi, Kennywise! Oh, I still love your name so much. Kennywise. Kennywise is wordplay on Pennywise, as you can see from the emotes. And it is, the most famous Pennywise is from my second most favorite horror flick of all times, which is Stephen King's It. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. So as soon as I saw Pennywise, and I can't even remember whose channel it was, I was like, oh my god, I love your name. My very favorite is The Exorcist, the original version from the 70s. I can watch that movie day, night, backwards and forwards, and I could probably quote every single line from it. I am that into The Exorcist. My favorite movie of all times. Yes, I'm a weirdo. I don't like girly flicks. I'm not really, you know, some romantic comedies are fun. I'm not really into the usual girly stuff. My perfect date night is blankets on the couch with hot chocolate, soda, coffee, tea, popcorn, chips, and a stack of horror flicks ready to just pop in and out of the DVD player. That's my perfect date night, and preferably when it's like a big thunderstorm outside. That's also a, you know, if that's even possible, that's a great element. So yeah. I will see you later, Rora. If you're still here, if you haven't left yet, I will absolutely see you later. Probably not until tomorrow, your time. because I am most likely crashed off. Hopefully I'm crashed off to sleep when you get back. But again, I hope you have a fantastic and productive and good session. And much love to you, dear. So, Tef. Oh, I love those emotes. I'm especially crazy about the first one. The pride give and the wings, the pride wings. They are super, super cute. I just love those emotes. They make me smile. As you can see, I don't know if it's showing. I actually don't know if it is showing. But I have the LGBT thingamabob tag on my stream. Because I believe in supporting that community since I am a part of it. So, you know, to me, seeing the pride emotes, generally I believe in supporting people's right to be who they are and love who they want to. Regardless of gender, color, age, and so on and so forth. And anything that supports that is something I love. And I was really, really thrilled when I saw the pride emotes. I was like, oh my god, they are awesome. Hi, Jiffy. How you doing, sweetie? I'm glad you could stop by. I'm sorry I was so late on stream. Morphe's been kicking my ass a little bit today. Oh, the tag was one of the reasons you found me? Oh, well, I'm guessing the tags do work for something. You know, I've actually never been sure if the tags actually did anything. But I'm glad you're telling me that it does actually work. I mean, I know that if I tag, I'm streaming Sims 4, I'm streaming Final Fantasy. People that go in there to look for Final Fantasy, they'll see my stream somewhere in the pile of other streams. But the specific tags that you add next to, like family friendly, leveling, LGBT, and so on and so forth, all that, I never really knew if they worked, if they had an effect, if people actually looked at it and said, oh, this is one of those streams, I want to hang out there. I'm just glad to know that it is actually effective, that it is actually working as I was hoping it would be. That's pretty fantastic. Precisely, Jib, precisely. You know, I strongly believe in the right to choose your own path to happiness. And if my path to happiness is getting engaged to a potted plant that's purple and live on Mars, I don't think anyone should have the right to tell me not to, or tell me that it's wrong. You know, love is love, regardless of who you give it to and who you share it with. Oh my god! Thank you, sweetie. Thank you so much for gifting that sub to Tef. Oh, Tef, welcome to the Kitty fam. You can now use the very, very cute emotes that we have available. I personally love them very, very much. They were made by Mr. Ghost, who is also here, who's a good and dear friend of mine. Whoop. Oh yeah, the giant kitty setup. Yeah, I've actually been told a few times that some of the stuff that I write in my I'm going live now announcements on Twitter is the reason why people have decided to stop by and say hi to me. There was one specifically that got so many laughs. People came in and they were like, "Oh my god, that was a fantastic announcement. I had to see who you are. I had to come and say hi to you." It was something about I have the body of Abathur and the vocal stylings of 15 angry cats. Come watch me play hots and sing songs. Come hang out while I play hots and sing songs. And apparently that made a lot of people laugh. So, you know. Yeah. Yeah, well, if I want to, there's actually we had a big laugh at this some years ago. One of my dear friends, Matthew and I, because there's websites on the internet where you can marry anything and everything, and you can marry a potted plant, you can marry a desk, you can marry someone's right toe if you want to. And it just literally cracked me up. So if I want to marry or date a potted plant, I damn I will. No one has, as long as I'm not hurting anyone else. My preferences should never offend anybody. Because I have to live with the choices I make of who to love and why. Other people don't, so they just need to shut the fuck up and Badowski, you know? It's just one of those things. People are so busy getting into other people's business constantly and playing police and telling, well, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't. How about you cannot tell me what to do? I think that's the only valid you cannot do, is you cannot tell me what to do and how to feel. That's the only valid you cannot that I'll accept. If people try to you cannot anything else in my face, I am very capable of showing them the door because I can do that. They haven't told me I couldn't. So, yeah, it's just one of those things. You know, you do you. You do you. And you do what makes you happy as long as it doesn't hurt anyone. It's the only thing that matters. What? Why is my phone blowing up? You know what? I need to shush it. My phone's being a shushy. Nope. There we go. Okay, if I put it down like that, then maybe. It looks like my my WhatsApp is blowing up a little bit. One of those. And I'm glad you're protecting me from potted plants with dishonorable intentions, Ghosty. I really appreciate that. My knight in shining armor. Whoop. There we go. So I have almost, hang on a sec. I need to check. Ooh, check here. I need to check here and see how many of these I've... Okay, 63. I need to get this number up to 100. And then I'm going to head back to town. And oh, for the love of criminy, that was the wrong one. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Well, me and Bimsa really like to kiss. So we do it a lot. Like 24/7, as you can tell. Yeah, I can't count the number of people that have been fooled by the end. They're like, Shy, I think your webcam is frozen. And I just, oh my god, I'm so sorry. No, that is not my webcam. My webcam is currently being a butt face. I am trying to fix whatever the hell is going on with it. Don't know when I'll succeed. But yeah, there's a lot of people that think it's actually the webcam. It's not. And I don't want to move the KittyCam. I have actually I've used duct tape to stick it on the front of my computer so it will be able to film the kitties when they're down here, you know, laying next to me and just keeping me company while I game. And I don't want to, you know, besides the cats are prettier than I am anyways. I don't want people to miss out on the KittyCam. Because they do so many fun things. They do so many cute things. I took some pictures the other night of Dune laying in the basket, and then a little dancer, my little foster kitten, crawled up. And first she was like, she put a paw in his face. She was like, no, leave me alone. And then she finally ended up, because he didn't give up, then she finally ended up just scooting to the side a little bit so there was room for him. And they ended up laying in that basket and cuddling. And it was just, oh my, it literally made me cry. I was just like, I can't believe how lucky I am to live with such amazing, loving, caring, considerate creatures. And yeah, she's treating him like he was her own kitten. Dune has always been amazing like that. She has been the greatest mommy cat for all of my foster kittens through time. So yeah, well, he is the cutest. He's the cutest little brat in the world. He is actually almost done with the hand biting. I'm very proud of him. He's come really far, and he has started to speak cat. So he has started to accept and respect the other cats when they tell him, no, we don't want to play. No, we don't want to do this. Instead of just continually try and not accepting or respecting their go away signals, he has actually started to respect them instead, which in turn has made them more accepting of him. So they actually do wash him, groom him, you know, teach him and play with him a lot. It is a fantastic transformation. And I think we're down to about 10% of the time where he'll really chomp down on my hands now. Whereas when he arrived here, it was 100% of the time he would chomp on my hands. Now he does it only 10% of the time. The rest of the time, he will lightly grab my hands with his teeth, and if I go, ow, he starts washing me instead. He's really, and just, cuddling up to my hand and rubbing his face against it and purring. He has really come far. I'm so proud of him. He is going to be a super little boy for a very, very lucky family. And for some reason, my brain told me earlier that it was tomorrow. It's not. Monday next week. And I can say this because he's in the bedroom. I don't want to hurt his feelings or scare him. Next week, on Monday, he's being picked up by another foster family that is going to take their kittens to the vet. And he's being taken to the vet where he gets his snip, chip, and vaccinations done. So he's completely ready for a new home. So mine and your time with the little boy is limited, which is why we have to enjoy him while we can. And that's my reason for taking bucket tons of pictures and videos of him to show off to you guys. Because he's such a sweetheart. I love him. I love all my fur balls. I am incredibly lucky to have them. They are little lights. My little itty bitty lights. So yeah, and I think him and Matilda are the only two that are in the bedroom right now. Matilda was sleeping in the windowsill, and I put him in the bedroom. I gave him his wet foods because we had a big play session. And trying to tap him for some energy, and that means that he's probably sleeping, curled up against my pillow, because he likes to be close to me all the time. So he's probably gone zonk in my bed. No. Oh, Iris, she is so adorable. Oh, I can just picture that. Oh, she was actually running around with the chicken. Oh, Jib's daughter Iris is the cutest little thing. And a while ago, I sent Jib a little present because he is my brother from another mother, and he is an amazing person. He has been a big help and support and sounding board and ears and friend, and he's been a big everything to me since we first met in, I think it was Yuna's channel we first met in. So I sent him a little gift not too long ago. He was playing with an old beat up mouse, like an old office type mouse, not a gamer mouse. And I happened to have a spare gamer mouse that was still in the packaging and unused, because I am actually really, really loving my my G502, Logitech G502. So there was no need for me to have, a second mouse. So I said to him, you know what, how about I send that to you? He was like, no, well, I insist. And I think a couple of weeks before that, I had been to, we have this this place where it's like a soup kitchen style of thing. And they get, they get shops that drop stuff that they either can't sell, or if they just want to change out their inventory, they drop items, not just food, but also toys and purses and bags and clothes and stuff there. And I stumbled over the cutest chicken teddy bear. One day I was there with a friend. She came and picked me up, and we went there to get some food. I had won a giveaway of a special sweet care package of some sort. And when we came there, I saw this chicken, and I'm like, oh my god. Because Jib had showed me a picture of his daughter, and I instantly thought of her when I saw that chicken. And apparently she loved the chicken as much as I hoped she would. because it goes with her everywhere. So she is just so super cute. I've seen some videos of her with that chicken. It's just like, oh my god, that is the most adorable thing. Yeah, I love kids. Kids are incredible. Kids are amazing, and Iris is definitely special. She is. Ah, she is. She's a little princess. I absolutely adore her. So, yeah. You know, I'm glad. You know, it's important for a child. I remember this from my childhood. I had my favorite teddy bear was one of those ragdoll type of teddy bears. It was a monkey, and I named him Alfredo. And I actually had him until I was like 11, and then I went the wrong way, didn't I? No, I didn't. My mom threw him out because he was so beat up, not beat up, but he was so worn. He was simply worn to bits and pieces. So my mom ended up throwing him out, which really broke my heart. But he was my best friend. He went everywhere with me. I took him everywhere. We did everything together. He was sitting at the side of the tub at my grandma's when I was taking a bath in her tub. He literally went everywhere with me. And I think it's important for all children to have a couple of teddy bears that make them feel safe. That are their best friends. Something to make them feel safe. Something they can talk to when they're sad or when they're happy. Something they can share secrets with, and they know that it's never gonna tell a single soul. It is gonna keep their secrets forever. It's important. It also teaches, from a psychological point of view, it also teaches children responsibility. Because, yeah, it might just be a teddy bear, but you still have to treat it right. You can't beat it up and throw it around the room and smash it against the walls. You have to treat it right. Just like you have to treat another living being right. So, teddy bears, and especially comfort teddy bears, definitely essential for children. So I'm glad that she has the chicken and Sean the sheep. I'm glad she has more than one friend. It is always good. Definitely appreciate that. And I'm still smiling. She danced around. She is so super cute. Listen, my kids are all grown up. You know, they're big. They're all grown up. But I still remember when they were that age. And kids, every age has its special charm. No doubt about it whatsoever. But I think my preferred ages are the between 1 and 3, the real toddler stage. Because that is where you see an explosive growth in their personality. You see them really become who they are. That's where they shape the foundation of their base personality. It is incredible to watch that process. And then we actually get to the really inquisitive age around between 7 and 10. Those two, I think, are my favorite ages for kids. Because, I remember my daughter when she was about 7. She would ask questions that would make me turn my head, look at her, and go, "How old are you? Like, are you like an ancient being in a tiny new body? That's just, what the heck?" So yeah, kids are amazing. Kids and animals generally are amazing. Most of the time I like animals more than I like most people. The people that I do like, I like a lot, however. But kids I always love. I have only met, I think I can count on one hand, the children that I've met where I just, if you were my child, I would send you to the dungeon. Pretty much. I think I've only met less than a handful of children I felt that way about. Children that I didn't really like. I think kids are awesome, and it's the same. The only animals that I don't really appreciate too much are birds, because I'm terrified of them. They don't like me at all. They will attack me on sight, which has made me terrified of them, which is why I don't really particularly appreciate them. Every other animal, snakes, fine. I love them. I think they're amazing. But yeah, you know, the whole... Oh, there we go. It was out for søren, sådan hold lige op med det. Nu skulle da irriterende. Excuse my French, or Danish in this case. Oof. Finger cramp. That was a new one. I needed to go to the Goldsmith's Guild because I have a job in here. Well, not really a job per se, but I do have... I think I can get the next thingamabob. Can I get the next thingamabob? Let's check. I cannot get the next thingamabob because I am not yet level 20. But there is something we can do to help that. Fluorite. And I got the malachites. And after that, yeah. After that, we'll see. When I hit 20, I'll get the next ones open. And then we'll see what else I can do. But, yeah, let's get to it. Let's quickly craft some stuff so we can get... Because if you look at this here, my main job, which is the Arcanist, is level 35. And I would like my crafting skill to kind of keep up with my job level, my combat job level, because that way I can help myself out. If, let's say, I'm unable to get a ring or a wrist or a pair of nice boots to drop, well, I can craft some in that case. And also because it's nice. There's, especially in carpentry and stuff, there's going to be some real nice stuff that I can craft. I can actually show you. Look at this here. Master recipes. So you have so many recipes. And this server here is actually a new server, which means that housing hasn't opened yet. Now, once housing opens, people are going to be purchasing housing. And they're going to want to decorate it with nice stuff. That's where crafting comes in. That's why it's really important to me. Because I'll be able to craft and sell a lot of things to be able to, you know, really get a nice house apart from the room that I'll be getting in the guild mansion. Everybody in the guild gets a room in the guild mansion, and in this game, those of you that don't really know the game, it's not called a guild here. It's called a free company. But you've got so many different and wonderful things. Decor, furniture, you know, you've got everything, ceilings, walls, you have everything. And I decided that I want to crystallarium mechanical till. Oh, so you can make like a little shop corner and stuff, you know. You've got all that here. That's fantastic. So yeah, I really wanted to get my skills leveled up because I want to be able to craft nice stuff, not just for myself and not just for selling, but actually also for my guildies when the time comes, and for the guild mansion. Where is my... Oh, hang on a second. Nope, I have equipped. It's because I was like, why do I have an extra ability there? I don't need to have that there. I need to put that there. So yeah, I'm just gonna synthesize some gems and stuff. Just to get that up. Oh, see, I just got 6,776 experience points for the first craft. You get a massive XP bonus for the first time you craft an item. And 1,672 for the craft itself. XP per item I craft. So I should have plenty to get to level 20. Bingo, look at that. Yeah, so I just hit level 18. Which means that there's not that far. I'll definitely make it within the allotted... Hang on, I don't have a damn right now. Okay, so I'll just go with the fluorite. It doesn't matter. And the reason why I don't set it to, you can do quick synthesis, then the game is going to automatically synthesize for you. But the failure rate, because I'm level 18, and it's within, you basically, if you want to do the quick synthesis, you should be minimum 10 levels above the level of the item that you want to quick craft, automatically craft. If you're not, then it's going to fail way too much, and that is wasting materials. And I'm one of those annoying people that do farm my materials myself. I don't buy them. I go, if I need something for crafting, I go farm it. One of the reasons being I'm a little bit conscious of how I spent my gil in the game. I have 84,643 in my pocket, but I have 1 million tucked away on one of my retainers. And it's because as soon as housing is released, my goal is to have about 4 million saved up by the time housing is released. That's the goal. I'm not sure I'm going to get there. I'm going to try. So I can purchase the medium-sized house right off the bat. That is something that I would really love to do. And so I can get in there as one of the first ones and get housing in the perfect location. I've been scouting the different housing areas on the American servers to find the perfect locations, the perfect lot for where I want to build my house. So you buy the lot, and then you buy a building permit, and then you buy the house thingamabob. Purchase the thing, so you actually put the house down on the lot. So it's basically 3 things that you have to do, as far as I've understood. And I need to save up a lot of gil for that. So I'm being a little bit conscious of how I spend my gil, which is why I don't want to blow my gils on running around purchasing materials. When I can unwind, I can completely disconnect my brain and just run around in a circle farming this, that, and the other, and unwind while I do it. It is good for me mentally, and it's de-stressing to me. Same as walking down listening to the ocean or a silly thing. Fun fact about me here is I don't have a dishwasher. I haven't had a dishwasher since I was 19, and I do not wish to have a dishwasher ever again. Because the running water, the sound and the feel of the running water down over my hands when I wash dishes by hand is really soothing and relaxing to me. And it's kind of the same with the gathering. I disconnect my brain and I just go on autopilot, and I can just sit and relax while I do that. So I enjoy grabbing my own stuff, and I'm gonna continue enjoying grabbing the stuff that I need. And at some points, maybe I'll leave my free company and start one of my own. And if I ever do that, there we go, level 19. I've got 97 fluorites left. Yeah, I'll be level 25 before I'm done with the stacks. No, I'm not. But yeah, if I ever do leave the free company, they're really nice people. And my friend Belf is also in the free company, so we met many years ago on Star Wars: The Old Republic online, and we've been friends since. We have been friends since we spent like a month desperately trying to murderize each other in PvP. He was on the Empire side, and I was on the good guy side, obviously, because I always stick to the good guy side. I can't be a villain. I just can't do it. It's fun every now and then, but on a permanent basis as a character, no, can't. It is so much against my base personality. So Belf and I had a blast trying to kill each other, and then we got to start talking, and he took his light side character and came over and joined the guild that we were in there, and got to know the group of friends. We have a small group of friends, like 6, 7, 8 people that are pretty tight knit, and he became a part of that group, and he has been ever since. And he recently started playing Final Fantasy 14 on the EU side. So because not right now, he's on summer holiday, but once the summer holiday is done, he will obviously be going back to his he is at university or something. He's in school. He's doing his education thing. So he won't be able to play at night on the US servers with me. Because, you know, sleeping schedule and bedtimes and all that. To be a good student. So he started playing on the EU servers. And that's why I created this girl. To be able to play with him on the EU servers. And he found this really nice guild. So I got a guild invite. Was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? I can't remember. But yeah, that's why I have an EU character. It's actually because we are desperately trying to get Blue. Another one from our group of friends. We're desperately trying to get Blue to play with us, too. She's scared, too, because she can tell just from watching the game. She's like, I know I'm gonna love this game if I start playing it. I'm gonna get addicted, and, Blue is one of those people that pour her heart and soul into a game, which if she really loves a game, she really loves a game. And she semi-obsesses over it, kind of like what I do. So I do understand her point of view. She cannot be obsessing over 5 games at the same time, and currently she's got some other games that she's playing. So she's a little bit scared of trying it out because she's afraid she's going to like it too much. And I think she will like it too much, actually, I'm sure of it. And so is Belf. So we gently coax her towards the, okay, I'm gonna take the step and do it! It's gonna take a while, but I think we will get her to play with us eventually. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. You know, it's always nice to play games with friends. Especially if it's friends that you've known, like, for a long time, because you know each other's strengths and weaknesses, and, like, for example, I know that Blue is born to be a great healer. She's a great healer. She was on Star Wars: The Old Republic, so I know if Blue is healing, if we're doing a dungeon or a raid and Blue is healing, I feel safe. I have no doubt that if I need healing, she's got my back. And if she's not got my back, then it's because, well, the fight's already lost. We have to wipe and start over. So, you know, stuff like that's always nice. That's why I like to play with friends. With people that I know. Yeah. Yeah, Blue is amazing. Blue's actually been here to visit me. And she's going to be stopping by sometime in August. She's coming to, she lives on the mainland. She lives in Jylland. And, she's going to be coming across the bridge to do some, I think it's something for work, some seminars or something for work. Here, I think it's next month. I think it's in August. So she's going to stop by to visit me soon. So yeah, I'm like, yeah, well, stop by, spend the night. And, let's hang out. Let's have a girly day. She moved a couple of years ago. She moved into an apartment where, you know, she bought an apartment. It's a beautiful place, absolutely beautiful. But she used to live in a house with her ex, and they had 2 cats, and she really misses her cats. So, she's like, I need some cat therapy. I need to come and get some cat therapy at your place. I miss cuddles. I'm like, you come on, you bring it over. You know my cats are gonna love it if you want to cuddle them. Because they do. So, yeah, I'm gonna be seeing her again soon. It's gonna be nice. I think the only 2 from our group of friends from Star Wars: The Old Republic that hasn't been here to visit me in real life is a guy named Jacquin and then Belf. Belf hasn't yet, but he is going to. Everybody else has been here to visit. So we're not just gaming friends and online friends. We are actually real life friends. So yeah, it's one of those things. It's been like 6. I think 6? Is it 6 or is it soon to be 7 years? I think it's soon to be. We're closer to 7 years. There we go. See, now I can get the next quest in the class doodle. Heart of Gold. Ah, that's a cute achievement. Hi, sweetie. How you doing, Anime? Are you doing good? Are you having a nice day? I'm sorry I'm not playing Bebop Girl today, hon, but I am quite drugged up on morphine. And I can't do stuff which requires me to think. It's just not going to be a possibility today. So instead of not streaming at all, I decided to do just a short Final Fantasy stream. You know, just chatting with you guys, hanging out a little bit. Because I health requires me to get my butt to bed soon. Basically. You're working more on the drawing. Oh, it looks incredible. I can't wait to see the finished result. Definitely. Alright, sweetie. Yeah, Jibby. You go, you do your thing. I'm guessing work is calling you again. And we both know that that is important. So, yeah. Good luck with that, my dear. I know I will see you again soon. Hiccups. I do not want to stop it. Oh, hold you up. Blah. You hate to hiccup. You hate to hiccup. You hate to see it. Let's see. We need a materia-enhanced staghorn staff. Staghorn staff. So let's see. First of all, I need a marbled eye and an antelope horn. I have none of the above. That is crap. Marbled eye. Yeah. So I'm not gonna get any further with that right now because I will have to go and farm, and I'm too woozy to be able to look up things currently. But that's fine because there's still the other one that I had was this one here. So see, we can switch out. Now we've got some upgrades to the gear, so we switch out to this set here instead. I did farm some leather. See, my goldsmithing went from 7 to 12. Item level 12 instead. See, my blacksmithing is why have I not? Hang on a second. Let's equip that one. Let's equip that one real quick. And blacksmithing, let's equip armor. Why does the armor have better gear? They should be on the same level. That's weird. Well, anyways, leatherworking. Leatherworking is what I was going to do. Level 18 leatherworking. I can now throw that one on there. So now it's up to 9. And 18, so that means that I just need to sit and quickly make some of the little... Oh, I don't need to do that. I need to remember I have to use my shortcuts. So I've got some old goat skins and some elements. And that means that I'm going to be synthesizing a bucket-ton of old gold leathers. So let's do this. Oh, standard touch. I need to move that button. That does not belong there. That belongs over there. So I don't get them confused. There we go. And that gives me, let's see, 2400 XP per. So I should have plenty to get to level 20 on that one too. And then I can head off to Gridania and check my level 20 quest to see if it's something that I can actually make. If it is not, then I'm gonna wait with that one and just go do some fishing for the rest of the stream. Because we have about half an hour left. Not only am I starting to get slightly woozy, like not just loopy, but woozy as in dizzy, and that's a sign that I need to be laying down soon, because it means that I will literally fall asleep in the chair. Because yay, morphine. But we still have about, well, half an hour or so ish. So let's make the best of it. Let's make some goat skins, shall we? I could just go on and craft the rest of the jewels and things that I have gathered. I might as well, actually, just for laughs, because I'll need them anyway. I think I also have a bucket ton of wood that I need to go and turn into lumbers. So yeah, there's plenty to do, especially if I want my crafting skills to kind of keep up-ish with my combat skills. With my main job. My crafting jobs. I still kind of see them in the same way that you would in games like World of Warcraft. My class is a summoner. But in this game, when you change your weapon, you change your class. Currently, I'm not a summoner. Currently, I'm a leather worker. That's my class. But I still see my main job in the game as being the summoner. So yeah. A lot of things to take into consideration sometimes. But that was level 19. Look at that. It goes fast. I used 20 to get there. I have 79 left. Oh, I've got more than plenty to hit that. Which is good. It's good stuff. So yeah, it means I'll have to skedoodle off to Gridania. Which is actually a place that... it is so beautiful. It's one of those places that fills me with like serenity and calm, because it's elvish hobbit style woods, and I am a tree hugging hippie at heart. So it's a place where I feel perfectly at home. For those of you that don't play the game or don't know the game, Lim's I love the city, but I get lost constantly. I would say Ulda is a bit easier for me to find my way around in. It's not that I don't get lost there ever, but not as often as in Limsa. Gridania, I never get lost. I love that place. I just instinctively move through the woods, through the forest, somehow. And you know, it's very much in tune with my tree hugging hippie soul. So, yeah, it's definitely my favorite place. My favorite city-state. My main character homes in... actually, when I'm done getting these, getting this here up to level 20, I actually think I'm gonna relog and show you my main character, because she is so pretty. This girl is gonna be getting the same gear, the same outfit, but she is a bunny girl, who has my main character, obviously, being me, is a cat. So, yeah, you get to see her pretty, and some of her beautiful mounts. She's got some gorgeous mounts on her. I love mounts. I love mounts and pets, and I have a badass habit of trying to collect each and every one of them. So this game has got enough to keep me entertained and busy for the next 20, 30 years to come, I think. There's definitely always something for me to do. Oh, hold up at it. Thank you. That was rude. Why you do that? You're not allowed to do that. Stop doing that. I will not have them fail on me. It's impolite. It's considered fairly impolite. Ish. And there we go. Synthesize. It's a difficult word for my brain to process right now, apparently. That being said, in my defense, morphine. Whee! You know, I'm sorry if I've been babbling tonight. Morphine apparently makes me really talkative. Not that I'm not usually a bubbly, lively person, because I am. But morphine might make me. I don't know. Have I been blabbing like blah, 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 or as what I said and talked about actually made sense? I hope the latter. But please tell me to shut up if I'm blabbing. It's perfectly fine. Sometimes I look at myself and I go, hang on. It takes me like 20-30 seconds to actually comprehend what just came out of my mouth, and I look at myself and I go, would you just shut the hell up? You're blabbing. You know, it's when I have the brain, the cognitive blah days. On days like that, I often tell myself to stop blabbing. Just shut up. Because it's necessary. You know, if I'm annoying myself, then I'm probably going to be annoying other people too. And I prefer to be a positive light in people's life instead of being a nuisance. Yeah, but I don't want to I don't want to bore you guys. I don't want to bore you guys at all. Well, I'm always a little bit ditzy and a little bit goofy. That's just, it comes with the territory of being me. Nothing to do about changing that. My base personality is, I'm a glass half full person. I always find a little speck speckle of light, regardless of how dark it is. You know, if you've ever watched The Never-Ending Story, remember that scene where the childlike empress opens up her hand and the tiny grain of light, tiny grain of sand from the old Fantasia is all that's left? I am a kind of person that always find that tiny grain somehow, regardless of how dark times are. Sometimes it takes me a couple of minutes, granted. And sometimes I want to throw the towel in and say, fuck it if I want to look for that damn light. But generally, yeah, I'm pretty bubbly, and I try to share my love of things with other people. Try to share my passions with other people, because one thing that always works for me as far as being attracted to people, not just, you know, for relationship material as in boyfriend girlfriend material, but also in a friendship style, is if they're passionate about something, especially something that I know nothing about, and they share that passion with me and they get me excited about it, it is the best thing in the world. I love it. And that's, we know, if they can make me love something by just simply seeing their passion and joy for it, then maybe I can help other people to expand their horizons and learn to love something, or find out that they can actually love something that they never thought they would. It's just one of those things. So yeah, I am generally, as I always say, I'm 95% optimist, 95 to 99, somewhere in that area. I'm not big on I'm not big on math. I'm an intuitive emotion person. On, like, I think less than half of me is intuitive emotion. I can't remember the personality types, but I'm the personality type that is, I am emotional and I am passionate, but it doesn't control me. It doesn't run my life. I control it. I am good at applying logic and you know, what's it called, when you think things through. I'm good at applying logic and thinking things through on my emotions. I don't just, sometimes, yeah, I will follow a spur of the moment instinct or emotion, but usually I feel this spur of the moment need or want to do something, and I like, hang on, think about this for a second. Would it be a good choice or a bad choice? I always try to balance things out. That's one thing. When I was younger, I was really, really bad with simply just going with my emotion in the moment and not consider the consequences long term. As you get older, you learn, and I've definitely gotten better at that. Yeah. You know what? And I recently watched it again. I haven't watched it for a few years, and I recently watched it again. I had a couch date, and I was watching The Never-Ending Story, and I cannot believe, after having watched it about 2,000 times, I still cry when Arthix dies. I bawl. I can't even. Nope. I can't. It just makes me so upset and so sad, because I feel his pain. I feel his pain so much. I know what it's like to lose your best friend. I know what it's like to lose your beloved companion. I've lost cats. I've lost people. And I think the guy that plays the role really did an amazing job at portraying just the look on his face when he's begging him to not give up. It's just like, oh my god, my heart. I can't even talk about it without tearing up. It really, that scene just, yeah. It hits me right in the feels, and it's the same with Disney movies. They hit me right in the feels. So in that aspect, I'm really, really emotional, and despite that, that's why I'm kind of an enigma and a contradiction to myself, because despite that, despite being an emotional creature when it comes to those things, emotional movies doesn't really affect me like in the same way. Like sad movies doesn't. I think one of the only movies that has ever really gotten to me emotionally, that really hurt me in the feels, was Lazarus Oil, with the little boy that gets very ill. That one, wow. I crumbled. I mean, I crumbled hard. I cried so hard. But yeah, you know, dramas and love stories that end up badly and stuff like that. They don't tend to affect me in the same way. It's just, you know, if an animal or an innocent child or something gets hurt or is in trouble, it really just I can't. Nope. Oh, you know what? I actually heard about that. I'm not sure if it's just a rumor or if it's actually true. If it's actually true, then pooh, uncool, so uncool. You know, I know that they've definitely made the safety measures and security measures and stuff for stunt people and stunt animals and things. They've definitely made them a lot stricter, and I hope that will help prevent accidents like that from happening, because that's just terrible. I mean, that stunt horse was someone's beloved pony, you know? It's, terrible way to lose your friend. Definitely terrible. One thing that I do love about that movie, though, is when he meets his dragon. That dragon is just, he makes me smile. He's just, he's such a fluffy cutie. He is such a fluffy cutie. And I just, yeah. Now I feel like watching the movie again. Hey. You know, that is true. Even with the strictness, accidents will happen. You can never prevent them completely. But I sure hope that they, you know, compensated and comforted the family that owned the stunt horse in a proper way. 'Cause yeah, you know, you can do a lot, but you always have to take into consideration that you do work with living beings when you shoot a movie. And, you know, when you shoot a movie, when you do a theater play, I don't know if you've heard all the stuff that was going on the set of my favorite movie ever, The Exorcist. All the stuff that was actually going on, of unexplainable weird accidents and happenings and things. I would have loved to be there. I'm one of those people that I would give my left arm to go spend 24 hours in the most haunted houses and places on the planet. I would love it. Absolutely, it's a huge dream of mine. Probably never gonna happen because health. But I've always wanted to. Because it's just, I don't even know what my fascination with horror is. It really triggers something in me. I don't get scared. I get really excited about horror movies. I'm like, oh my god, this is so cool. Or I get highly amused by them. There's only one horror flick that's actually ever managed to terrify me, and that was the very first time I watched Stephen King's It. When it hold you up in there, Sparks. That's not your button. Get off my button. What are you doing? Goofy. Hi, Skin. There's my Sparkles. Here's my boy. There's my boy. Oh. But yeah, it really terrified me, and it's the only the only horror flick, the only movie that has ever really scared me. I was young when it came out. I was about 17. And I'm not joking. 4 or 5 weeks after I watched it the first time, I would stare suspiciously at the drain while taking a shower, brushing my teeth. Like terrified of balloons suddenly showing up. Completely irrational, and I know this. It's just as irrational as my fear of birds or, fear of tiny spiders. I'm scared of tiny spiders. Big spiders, don't mind them. But tiny spiders terrify me. And I think the reason why they terrify me is that as a child, I read somewhere, I think it was in Reader's Digest, because my grandma had Reader's Digest. She subscribed to it when I was a kid. And I read somewhere that throughout your lifetime, you will eat at least 100 spiders. They'll crawl into your mouth while you sleep and you'll accidentally swallow them. They'll land, on your food. And they'll be teeny tiny, so you might not necessarily see them. So I don't mind spiders as long as they're big enough for me to grab them with my hand. Anything about the size of my hand, like tarantulas and stuff, I'm fine with. Smaller than that, no, terrified. Just as terrified as I am of birds and needles. It's just one of those things. And I lost my train of thoughts because I triggered myself by talking about spiders. I'm dirt. But yeah, I did watch the remake of It. I don't know, I really liked the actors that were in the original. So I didn't find the remake as good, but I am looking forward to the second one. There's some good horror flicks coming out this year that I am dying to watch. Some that I really, really like to watch also is, and I love movies about exorcism, about possessed people being possessed and so on and so forth. I have tried to watch, what are those, the so-called documentaries, what are they called? Where they have cameras set up in houses and, shit happens in houses and lights flicker on and off and furniture moves on its own and all that crap. What are they called? Come on. My brain can't, for some reason, not remember the titles right now. But there's like a series of 5 or 6 of them so far, and I think they're gonna make more. I like stuff like that. I like stuff, like The Exorcism of Emily Rose is a fantastic movie. I love it. It's one of those that I can watch all the time. Obviously, The Exorcist being the favorite, and Stephen King's It. Possessed people, possessed objects, spirits, demons, stuff like that I absolutely love. I'm very fascinated by it. Always have been. When I was a kid, I was about 4 or 5 years old. I could read back then. I was pretty quick to learn stuff like that. There was some in the Reader's Digest magazines, the little tiny magazines that my grandma had. There was something called supernatural incidences. Paranormal Activity. Thank you, Tef. That's the one. Those are the ones. I have actually watched a couple of them. In my opinion, they could have cut them down to half the time. They could have been cut short to half the time by clipping them right and mixing them right and so on and so forth. They are too drawn out. I mean, sitting there staring at a screen for 20 minutes at someone sleeping in bed, and then finally after 20 minutes, the corner of their blanket moves a bit. Yeah, I wasn't too impressed, but it still fascinates me. I have not yet made up my mind whether or not I think it's fabricated or if it's actually real. I haven't made up my mind yet. I just know I love stuff like that. It's super exciting to me. And I think it's got something to do with my natural curiosity of wanting... I've always wanted to understand and learn. Yeah, it was fake. wasn't it? See, because it didn't really make sense to me. I know of. I know it's not a very popular topic. I don't care. It's my channel. I'll talk about whatever the fuck I want to. Um, I have had experiences that are unexplainable. My family, if you believe in those things, I have witch blood in me. I have certain skills that are beyond what, people normally have, certain abilities. No, I can't fly or grow wings or, swing around in spider webs through town, but I have for example, the ability to I could put my wrist on someone's forehead and tell their precise body temperature. Always had that ability. I instinctively pick up on people's emotions and feelings. Sometimes to a point where, like, if I give someone a hug or touch their shoulder or their hand, I will get impressions. It's kind of like watching a movie before your inner eye, the third eye on your forehead between your eyes, right above your nose. It's kind of like a movie that plays, and I'll watch something from their everyday life without them having told me about it. When I was a kid, I would know in advance. I would dream sometimes, a couple of days, sometimes a couple of weeks or months in advance of something, and then it would happen later. Foresight, the gift of foresight. I believe in those things because I have experienced them on my own body. I have also had some bad experiences with some things that is why I wanted to watch Paranormal Activity. I don't care. People can believe in what they want to. I just know that some of the stuff that I've experienced, I wasn't the only one there. There's several people experiencing the same things at the same time. So, there were witnesses. And I know that some of the stuff that has happened in my family is beyond logical reasoning and explanation. And I had a talk with my mom about it some years ago. Because here's a little fact about me. I'm a mother of 5. And when people ask me, do you have children? I always say yes. I'm a mother of 5. Only 4 of my children are alive. My firstborn, my daughter Susie, died 10 days old. And when I was 13, my mom was pregnant, and all of my life I had wished for a little brother. So I was really thrilled to find out that I was having a little brother. And one morning, I woke up and I had the most terrible nightmare. I dreamt that my baby brother was dead. I was at that point I was living in a different part of town than my parents. I was at a kind of like a foster family boarding school because I was a brat. Well, not really a brat, but there was some issues. My mom and I have finally sorted those out after I grew up and became an adult, but it took us many years. I think the reason why is because she was too young. She was 16 when I was born. She wasn't ready for me. And, yeah, we're very different personalities. So I was in foster care. School. My foster father was a school teacher at the school that I was supposed to go to and that I went to. And I had a dream because when I would fly home to visit, I would actually fly because it's in the other part of the country and there's a 1-hour plane trip and it's faster than the 6-7 hour drive it would be. So I would fly home once a month to spend a weekend with my parents. And I woke up and I had this dream that my dad picked me up. At that time, he was working in Copenhagen Airport as airport security, and so that meant that he could get into the actual airport area. He could take his personal car and drive around the actual airport area, which was kind of cool because we could drive out by the takeoff and landing parts of the airport and actually, be parked right next to the airplanes when they came down and touched down on ground. It was really, really cool. So I dreamt that that my plane landed, and I got off the plane, and he picked me up by the plane. It was back when you got off the plane and you would walk to the buildings and then through the doors and then go through customs or whatever. But because it's an in-country flight, that wasn't necessary. So it was just a tiny part of the airport. The in-country part of the airport was really tiny back then. And he had parked his car on the right-hand side of the entry to the building. And in my dream, I got in the car with him. And, he put my bags in the trunk and, got in the car and sat and put a seatbelt on. And he turned to me and he said, "There's something I gotta tell you. Victor," which was the name that my brother was gonna get when he was born. "Victor's dead." So I got pulled aside by the principal of the school sometime during the early morning, around 10, 11 o'clock or so, and told that I needed to, and she said to me, "You need to go home. You have to be a big sister now. You got to be a big sister now." And for some reason, it didn't dawn on me that it was my mother's pregnancy she was talking about, because I had 3 younger foster siblings, and I thought something had happened to one of them, so I would have to go home to take care of them until my foster parents came home. Turned out that wasn't the case. And as soon as she told me that, I curled up into a ball and started screaming and crying. I had a panic attack, full-on panic attack. I didn't know that back then, but I know now, because that dream came back. In that split second, that dream came back like this, like, boom. And I remembered everything, and I was terrified. So it ended up with me being taken to the airport, went home, packed my bag, got taken to the airport, flew over. Plane pulled up at the gate. Gate 1, just as in my dream. My dad's car was parked on the right-hand side of the door. We got in the car. I got in the car. My dad put my bags in the trunk. Got in the car, put a seatbelt on, turned his head, faced me, and took a breath like he was going to say something. Instead of saying something, he smiled. And then we took off from the airport. So we drove towards home, and about 5 kilometers from home, so a fifth of the way towards the airport, is where the hospital was. And he pulled over. He pulled over on, kind of like right before a little bridge close to the industrial quarters. He pulled over and he stopped the car, and then he turned his head to face me, and he said, "Sweetie, there's something I've got to tell you." And there I was, 13 and a half years old, looking at him. And then I said very matter-of-factly, "You don't have to tell me. I know Victor is dead. How is Mom?" I have never seen anyone turn see-through pale before that day. My dad simply turned see-through pale, and he was completely taken aback by it. So it took him a couple of seconds to gather enough wits to he didn't even have enough sense in him to ask, "How did you know?" He just answered my question, saying, Mom is not doing good. Mom is very, very sad. Do you want to go see her now?" I was like, "Yeah, can we go there, please?" So we went to my mom to the hospital. One thing that I had done on the way home on the plane, I used to draw a lot, draw and paint, and I had my colored pencils with me on the plane because it was a 1-hour plane ride. So to not get bored, I would always have my sketching pad, and I had made an incredibly beautiful drawing. And on that drawing, in the bottom right corner, kind of like if you grab an A page, A4 piece of paper, and you split it up in 4 squares, the bottom right square, I had drawn a little casket with flowers on, and a cross, a golden cross on a little white casket. And I had written on the back of it, I had written a message to my mom and dad, telling them that I loved them and that I always would, and that they didn't have to worry. I knew everything was going to be okay. I was putting all of my emotions, all of my fears, all of my sadness into that drawing. And my mom actually, I think she still has it. So I knew my little brother was gonna die because I dreamt it the night before. So we fast forward to me being 18 and a half. My firstborn, Susie, was born 3 weeks prematurely and obviously was really, really tiny. But she was a fighter. She was a fighter. Her main doctor and main nurse, everybody thought that we were just going to be there for 2-3 months and then we were good to go home. And then suddenly she crashed. Her body crashed. And we got called over and asked if we wanted her baptized. And, obviously called the entire family, and it was hard. She had been unconscious. They hadn't been able to get her to respond to them, the doctors and nurses she was on one of those little roller tables, tables with wheels under, and they were giving her injections of what's it called, directly into her heart to get her heart pumping again, pumping stronger. And they had one of those bags. They were bagging her oxygen and everything, and they couldn't get her to respond at all. She wasn't responding to anything until she heard our voices. Then she opened her eyes. She didn't open her eyes at all until we arrived and she heard our voices. And I said to them, this is me being 18. I was very firm believer in authorities. A school teacher, a police officer, a doctor told me to do something, I would do it. I wouldn't question. I wouldn't hesitate. I would just do what they told me. I've always been, trained in the good girl school. That was the first time in my life I took charge. I looked at the doctors and I looked at her doctor, and I said, how big are her chances? And he said to me, he was very honest with me. He said to me, well, we haven't really been able to properly oxygenate her for about half an hour. So, if we can rescue her, we haven't detected any brain activity. She's not responding. There's no brain activity. I don't think there's anything left. And then I just looked him straight in the eyes and told him to remove remove all of that stuff from her. Get it off my child right now. We need to say goodbye. And he kind of like stopped, like, whoa, because I apparently put on my power voice. And it was very clear that I meant what I said. So he stopped for a second, and then he just, they just obeyed me. They took, they stopped oxygenating, bagging her, that little pump bag that you have in the mouth of someone. They stopped bagging her. They started taking the needles out of her arms, all the IVs and stuff out of her arms. They put the bagging bag in to keep her breathing, keep her breath. And then I said, her dad's going to hold her. So they put her in her father's arms and guided us to a little room that is off the neonatal care unit that she was in. And he sat down, and I sat down with him. And then they removed the oxygen baggy thingy from her. And I said to her, baby girl, you can let go now. And she opened her eyes again, and she made a little sound, and then she closed her eyes, and she was gone. So after that, obviously it was a horrible time for all of us. Everyone was devastated. My parents, his parents, he was, I was, we were all heartbroken. Because it's not, we were both young. He was 19, I was 18 and a half. And something that people don't, it's not normal. That's not how evolution goes. Parents aren't supposed to outlive their children. And it's very, very uncommon to have it happen for someone as young as we were at the time. So it was a situation that the staff at the hospital, Susie's main nurse, for example, went into emergency shock therapy because it hit her so hard, because everyone had been sure that Susie was going to make it because she was such a strong little fighter. So again, we fast forward about a year and a half, I think. And my mom and I are having one of our very rare, because we had a very strained relationship for many, many years, but we had one of our very rare heart-to-heart talks. And I can't remember how we got onto the topic of the supernatural, as some would call it. I would just say the things that science can't explain yet, because I know shit exists. And there are things and so on and so forth. But we got onto that topic. And then my mom started crying. And she told me that about a week before Susie died, she had a nightmare. That she was in the hospital. Not visiting me, but she was in the hospital for something. And she was sitting in the waiting area, and then one of the nurses that she knew from back when Victor died walked by, and she was like, "Oh my God, hi, Bibica, how are you doing? What are you doing here?" And my mom's like, something. Well, she was there for something. So they talked a little bit, and then the nurse asked, "So how is the little one?" And in my mom's dream, she had just started crying and said to the nurse, "Well, first it was going really well and she was really good. And then she wasn't doing so good. And now she's dead." And my mom woke up screaming, tears rolling down her face, screaming. And she knew, she was like, "How can I dream that about?" It was a week before. Susie died when she was 10 days old, so she was 3 days old at the time. She was like, "How can I dream terrible things like that? She's healthy. She might be tiny and prematurely born, but she's healthy. She's strong. She's a fighter. She's gonna make it. I can't be dreaming stuff." She really blamed herself for the longest time. Because her dream came true. And she didn't tell me about it for about a year and a half or 2 years later it was, when she finally told me about it. So, there is something in our family. Sometimes we know things. So I know that there is stuff that exists outside of what science can measure and what you can see and touch and feel. And I have known that since I was a child, because my experiences with other stuff started when I was very, very young. I was not a young teenager. I was about 3.5. And I had a conversation with my grandpa, who had died 2 years prior to that. So, yeah. And I think that's one of the reasons why I'm very fascinated and not at all scared of movies, horrors. What usually scares the crap out of most people is because it doesn't scare me. Because I think one of the reasons, and that's my personal opinion, my personal thought about it, one of the reasons why people get scared is because they don't understand it. People tend to be scared. Human beings as a species are a dumb animal that are really scared of change, really scared of things they don't understand, really scared of things they don't know. That, you all know that. Change is hard. doing new stuff instead of doing the usual drum run is really difficult and really terrifying. Stuff that we don't understand and that we can't see and measure and that science can't prove terrifies us as generally as a species. There are exceptions like me who aren't scared at all, who are quite the contrary, very, very fascinated and want to know more. I want to know more. I am very curious. I've studied, I've read all sorts of religion, what it's all about, to get an understanding of the world around me. And that also goes for, reading about supernatural and paranormal stuff. I've read a lot. I've read scientific research and documentation about stuff. I read stuff like that because I have a very inquisitive mind. And to me, it's just super interesting. And I think that's why I'm so fascinated by horror flicks. Anyway, that was a little bit of a... I'm sorry, it got really, really dark. But that was a little bit of, I would say, deep down personal info about me and my life, and some of the stuff that I've been through. And I think now that you guys have heard that, understanding that my hardships started really, really early in life with a thing like losing my daughter at such a young age. There's a reason why I can be so compassionate to people in difficult situations. People experiencing trauma or grief or sorrow or sadness or happiness, basically any emotion, is because I have been through and seen most of them. I have a friend who is currently going through a situation where I've never, ever in my life experienced anything even similar. And as I said to her the other day, I said, Lisa, I would love to help you. I just don't know what I can do. Because there is no piece of advice. There is no story from my own life I can tell you that will help you in any way, shape, or form. Because I have no idea what you are dealing with. I have no idea how I would react in that situation. Because I've never been there. I've never even been close to the shoes you're in. So if I can do anything to help you, tell me. I will do it. Whatever you ask me to do, I will do it. Don't be afraid to ask for my help. I will never understand, even remotely, how you feel, because those are shoes that no one are ever in. No one that I've ever known have been in those shoes. Now you are. Many other shoes I've been in. Many other shoes I can relate to. Yours, I can't. But I can relate to you, and I love you, and I want to help you. I want to do what I can. I think you now understand that the hardships that I've been through from hearing about my daughter, the hardships that I've been through is one of the reasons why it is so important for me to, when I appreciate someone, I show them. I show people my love. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I'm not scared to be who I am, because my very, very, very early life lessons taught me that if you ever neglect the chance to tell someone that they matter to you, to the world, that they're important, that they are loved, situations can change in a matter of seconds, and it might be too late. So when you have time, you have energy, you have opportunity, not even time and energy. You could be that tired and not really have time. But take the time, make the time to appreciate the ones you love, because you never know if things are going to change in the next 5 seconds and it's going to be too late. I appreciate my friends and my family. I appreciate my loved ones. I do whatever I can to show them at all times, because I never know. Something could happen to me tomorrow. Something could happen to them tomorrow. We never know. And I don't want to leave this earth with regrets of things that I didn't do. I would rather regret some of the decisions that I have made and some of the stuff that I have done that has not been too smart than regret things that I didn't do, especially when it comes to sharing the love that I have in my heart with someone else. And that's one of the reasons why you guys are so important to me, because you are my lights. And I hope, and you gotta tell me if I'm wrong, I hope that I have never neglected to let you know and to show you how much I appreciate you and how much I love you and how much your company, not just your support of my streaming and my gaming and my passions here, but how much you matter to me. You as people wanting to get to know me and wanting to let me get to know you. I hope that I have been very clear and that I will continue to be very clear in both expressing verbally with words, but also showing you through my actions how much you mean to me. Because that is the only regret that I don't want to carry when I cross through the pearly gates, is I don't want to regret not having told you. So y'all need to know that you are very important to me. And I know it's been hard listening to what I've just told you. I don't talk about it a lot because I know it upsets people. And I know that you probably are a little bit baffled and don't know what to say, how to comfort the 18-year-old me who lost her daughter. It's many years ago. My life would be very different if Susie was here. That is true. And there's been times where I've thought how different my life would be if that hadn't happened. If I had carried her to full term, how different a situation I would be in. But I also know for a fact that my life has worked out just the way it was supposed to turn me into the person that I am today, to the person that I was supposed to be. I'm not talking about health-wise, because no one's supposed to be this, health-wise. I'm talking about personality, spiritually, my soul, my being. The things that I've seen, the things that I've been through have turned me into the person that I am today, and I kind of like me. And I'm guessing you guys wouldn't be here if you didn't like me. So, I have something to offer the world. I have a safe haven, a safe spot. I am a safe haven, a safe spot. I have ears, you can tell anything. I'll never judge you. I'll never, unless you're blatantly lying, which I'm pretty good at picking up on. I'll never distrust you. I'll never ask you, are you faking? Aren't you just exaggerating a little bit? Stuff like that doesn't happen. You're bullshitting me. You'll never hear those words from me. Because I take your words and your emotions and I take you at face value. Because I am the kind of person, what you see is what you get. At all times. I am myself. I am just what you hear tonight. And what you hear when I'm goofy and silly. Tonight I'm in a serious mode. And I'm in a thoughtful mode. And I wouldn't say super emotional mode. But I'm wearing my heart on my sleeve. And I'm sharing something deeply personal. And, I'm sharing that. And obviously I'm sharing my very beautiful cat. Who's here. You're right, Tef. I'm sharing my very beautiful cat who's here next to me. But I am a place where you can feel safe. And that's what I want my community to be. I want it to be a place where you can feel safe regardless of who you are, what social layer you're from, what job you hold, what color your skin is, what religion you belong to, who you love, who you live with, what age you are. Those things don't matter. I want all of you to feel safe here and feel welcome and feel loved. And if I ever do something to make you feel like this is not the case, or if I ever neglect to show you that this is what I want for my community, for you guys who choose to spend the most valuable time, the most valuable thing that we have in this life, which is our time with me. If I ever neglect to show you, smack me on the head. Let me know. Say, hey, come in here. You have a bad day. like Tef, like you the other night, last night you were sad and you were upset about that guy. It means so much to me that you put the trust in me, you put the faith in not just me, but in the other people here, that you opened up and talked about it. This is a safe place. This is a place where you can do that. And I want to keep it that way. And I want everyone to know that here, you can talk about anything. I've just told you about some of my beliefs, and I've told you some of the reasons why I do believe the way that I do believe when it comes to, like, the supernatural. Those are things that people don't normally really talk about. Here, you can talk about anything. That's never ever going to change. The only things that you cannot talk about is wanting to hurt someone. Saying, oh, I want to punch my ex in the face because he's a dick. That's fairly okay. We all have those feelings, momentarily at least. But if you sit down and actually plan to murder him, then we are going to have an issue. That, stuff like that, I don't want here. It's okay to have a bad day and come in and need to let some steam out and need to rage and grump a little bit. It's okay to come in and throw a party because something really amazing happens. It is not ever okay to hurt someone else in my channel. It is never going to be okay to be mean to someone in my channel. Here, we respect and we care for each other. And there's room for everyone to be who they are, to share what they feel like sharing, what they feel comfortable sharing, what they have a need to share because they can't carry it inside. This is where you can do that. Don't write down the plan. This conversation never happened. Hey, sweetie, I don't know how much you saw or heard. Obviously, I've been sitting here not moving it at all for a while. I don't know how much you've heard of the conversation. We just had a very intimate and deep heart-to-heart. I told the fam something really personal about myself. Something to give them a better understanding of who I am as a person. Opening the shutters so they can peek in the windows to, peek through the windows to my soul and see all of me. Not just see the goofy, silly, funny, chatty, yappy, crazy, derpy side of me, but see that, I'm a multifaceted person. I contain many sides, just like they do. And it is okay to show and feel and share all of those sides in here. Heart to Hearts is sweet. The one that we've had tonight has been a little bit difficult. If you want to, you can always watch the VOD. I was talking about when my daughter died. It is not, for me, it's not something that's hard to talk about. I don't feel bad. I still miss her. I know my life would be very different. But I've been through therapy. I went to see a therapist. I have had 27 years to work through the emotions. I'm okay. Because everything, me as I am now, I am the sum of everything that's ever happened in my life. I would be a very different person if that hadn't happened back then. And I'm not sure that I would be a person that you would like or that I would like. Now I'm a person that I would like, or that I do like. And if you're here, I'm guessing that means you like me too, which I very much appreciate, because I would hate to see you sit here just to hate on me secretly. You could spend your time so much better if you hated me, definitely. I know I'm a strong person, and I'm strong for a reason, and today I lifted the curtain a little bit to show you some of the reasons why I'm strong. But yeah, you can always go back and watch the VOD if you are curious. It has been an interesting night. I can't even remember how we got onto that topic. But there are many more stories from my life like that. Deep. Not all of them sad. Some of them are deep. and so filled with happiness that I almost cry from happiness talking about it, because it still affects me so much. The memories it brings back, just I feel the feelings again when I talk about it, and we will be talking about those too. One point or the other, somewhere down the line. It might be tomorrow, it might be next week, it might be in 3 months from now. I don't know. It's one of those things, it just randomly, as the conversation flows, some time we'll get there. Maybe some days we will, maybe some days we won't. But yeah, this is me. This is all of me, and I hope I haven't scared anyone off. Hey, Uncle Two. Hey, sweetie. How you doing? Welcome. I'm glad to see you. I am very, very glad to see you. And yeah, Tev had a rough day yesterday, and came here and opened up heart and shared with us the sorrow she was feeling, and the hurt and the pain. And I hope that we did, I tried at least, and I hope that we did what we could to show her care and understanding and love. Because that is what we do here. It is, we can, you come in here, you can say anything. The only thing that you can't say is that I'm cute, because I'm not a hamster. Hamsters are cute, and my freckles are certainly not cute. If you ever say that, I will time you out for a split second and spank you and call you Betty, because I can. One of those things. But yeah, Chris, you have come in at you've come in at a time where we've just had a serious heart to heart. Now, for you guys that don't know Uncle Dude Games is an incredible guy. I'm sorry, did I say girl? I thought I said guy. Okay, my brain might be fucking with me right now. But yeah, Uncle Dude is an incredible guy. A huge inspiration in showing that I won't say you can do anything you put your mind to, because there's gonna be some obstacles that you can never undercome. Undercome? Wow, brain, stop fudging. Dude, my brain. There's some obstacles that you can never overcome. But he is definitely one of the most shining examples that I've ever seen of how far you can get if you put your mind to it and are willing to put in the work. If you don't know him, go check his channel out. I don't know if Ghost is here. If he is, sweetie, could you do me a favor and shout out Uncle Dude? Go check his channel out. Go check his Twitter out. This man has, within a time span of just a few years, gone from being homeless, alone and angry at the entire world for the bad hand that he was dealt from the very start, to successful, in love with a brand new wife in a brand new house that he has purchased. 2 years, yeah. Time span of 2 years. He is such an inspiration. I have to say, sweetie, when I have my hard days with my health, like today has been absolutely terrible. Actually, earlier today, this is kind of funny. Earlier today, I was thinking about you. And it was because I was asking myself, what would Chris say to me? Because right now, I'm just being a whiny little bitch. I've been in serious, very severe pain. Doctors have found out that I have some new ME symptoms that I haven't had before, and they are really, really painful. I've never tried pain like this in my entire life. So I'm on morphine currently. It's been a day and a half, yeah. And, I actually asked myself earlier today, what would Chris say to me if I told him how I just want to fucking quit because this isn't worth it? He wouldn't say so much. He would probably pull you up by the hair and say, come on, now we take these steps. I'll hold your hand. I can't do it for you, but I can hold your hand through it. That's what he would do. So if he can hold my hand through it, I should be able to kick my own butt and hold my own hand enough to get past that hurdle. and that actually pushed me above and beyond. So I got through the moments. I had a couple of minutes of I quit. I don't want this life. This is not what I was promised when I was born. But yeah. And it was because I thought to myself, if Chris can overcome all the stuff that he has overcome in his life, then I'm just a whiny little bitch for pissing and moaning over a freaking leg ache. You know, he has no leg to feel pain in. He has no leg to feel pain in. Why the fuck am I whining? I've got 2 legs. I've got double the legs that he has. Why am I whining? I should be appreciating them and be happy I have them, even though they're hurting right now. You know, one of those. Yeah, it was just, I felt like a whiny baby. I am my own hardest critic, and it was just one of those things. Sometimes I have to take a step back from my emotions and look at myself critically and say, are you being a baby right now? Or is it actually okay to holler about this? And sometimes, I find myself saying to me, hey, it's actually okay that you whine and cry about this because this is bullshit. Today it really wasn't, because I do have morphine. I could have just taken another pill. Not a problem. And I know you do the same. I know we've talked a little bit about this before. We all have moments, and it is okay to have moments. We can't all be strong all the time. I am a very, very strong person. Very, very strong at the core. I've had a life that has forced me to become strong. It's not by choice. I became strong out of necessity, not by choice. My strength is sometimes actually my downfall. Especially because it makes me I'm harder on myself than everybody else is because I expect more. I put myself to so high standards. Standards that I can't necessarily always live up to because I don't have the health condition that I did 5 years ago any longer. So, it's one of those things. Exactly. No one is harder on you than you are on yourself. I think that's actually pretty common for most people, but I am over super critical. I get perfectionistic when it comes to myself. I expect more from me than I would ever expect from anyone around me. Ever. And that is not necessarily always a good thing. When you go through those job training classes and stuff where they say, okay, name the 3 best things and the 3 worst things about you as a person. Strength is the one thing that I always name as a best and as a worst. My strength. Because it is a fantastic asset. It is also a fucking downside at times. Very, very downside. And exactly, it's how you succeed. It's how you sometimes push yourself through things that you don't think you can handle. Because you push yourself, because you want to, because you should be able to do better, and then suddenly, boom, you've pushed yourself past a hurdle, and you're like, holy crap, I made it. It's just one of those things. But Chris here is a shining example of going from being angry, lost, and unhappy to being a well-balanced, helpful, caring, loving, happy person with success, both in his work life and in his personal life. And there is not enough admiration in this world to shower the man with all that he really deserves. There isn't. Also, he is super hilarious, and on top of that, he is a great singer, and he does Twitch sings concerts in his channel with his wife, Auntie Courtney, and she is super cute, and she is an amazing singer too. Those two definitely have the entertainment factor. So if you wanna spend your time listening to some great songs, seeing a happy, loving couple living their best life, sharing their passion, living a dream of being able to entertain and make people happy, you gotta go watch them next time they they do their concert on stream. Tef, I do understand that. Sometimes it's so much easier to put out the fire. Sometimes you can't. And when you can't, sometimes it actually requires you pushing yourself and being hard on yourself to push through it. It's just one of those things. And you do come out stronger on the other side. You do. There is no doubt. You absolutely do. So yeah, Chris, we've been having some heart-to-hearts here. We've been talking about goofy stuff. My cat left the basket. There's no cat here to go dig it on. I have no idea why he was so rude to leave me. I feel very abandoned right now. Spax? Nope, he's nowhere to be seen. Usually, he's right there. He is not right now. He was here, being all pretty and beautiful and sweet and cuddly. And he's probably going to come back at some point. But I was actually going to end stream because, yeah, we got into the opening doors. I opened the door to my soul and showed my chats, my fam, my community a little bit more about me and who I am, and why I am the way I am. It got deep, but I hopefully managed to wrap it up by say, I hopefully managed to wrap it up to the happy ending, which is what I said about, well, it has been hard. My life has not been a cakewalk. It has been hard as hell. It has been stuff upon stuff upon stuff upon things that no one should ever have to go through. But it has made me me. I like me, and you wouldn't be here if you didn't like me. I hope. If you are here and don't like me, get the fuck out. Simple. Get the fuck out. And that's why it's also so important for me to express my joy and my happiness with the people that I'm surrounded by. I love you guys. You guys are all incredible. I am glad that we have this platform that we share, where we can meet like-minded people, where we can meet people and lift each other up together, where there is room for everyone to be themselves and to be accepted just the way they are. No judgment. I think we're so blessed to have that. You're gonna go practice some new songs? Dude, I actually have one that I would love to hear you sing at some point. Do you know Rascal Flatts? Broken Road? Can you sing that? It's one of my favorite songs. It always makes me cry because it's so beautiful. And yes, Tef, I look forward to the day I own a Switch. And the day I pick up my Switch, I'll happily let you beat my ass in any game that we play together, definitely. Because I'll just be so excited to have a Switch. Okay, when is your next concert? Is it Thursday? Is it tomorrow or is it... It's this week, isn't it? Tomorrow night, yeah. I knew it. Wait, what day is it today? Oh my god, my brain. Ugh. It's Wednesday, so yeah, it was Thursday. No, hang on, it's past midnight. My brain, cognitive process is fucking around on me right now. You know what? Tomorrow is actually my well, today, technically, for me, tomorrow for you guys is a Wednesday, which is my no stream day. So I am going to be resting up as much as I can, so I can make absolutely sure that I will be there for the concert tomorrow. And I hope that my fam here feel like joining me, if they're at all possible, to enjoy not just the singing that's amazing, but also the awesome community the awesome people in the channel, the welcoming, loving, caring people that are just, you walk in there, you say hi, and they make you part of the family right away. So yeah, I hope that you guys are gonna want to join me over there tomorrow night. I don't know. Do you know if Dan is streaming right now? Because I actually haven't got a clue. I have not been checking up on my blip. What's it called? Dan is on right now. Okay. Well, since we were gonna... that's fantastic timing. That is absolutely super timing. I love it when timing goes just right, because usually I am not very lucky with the whole timing thing. But if my timing is just right now, because Dan is actually online, then it is just fantastic. Yeah, he's online and he's doing just chatting. Just gonna check and see it's not a starting screen, but that he's actually there. His stream is starting soon. I think we should go and rate Dan. You'll love his community. It is a very, very caring, supportive community full of absolutely amazing people. A lot of them streamers. Dan is a pretty incredible person who has also been through some stuff. He is a veteran who's been through some hard times too, and has come out the other side of that tunnel a stronger and better version of himself. And he is so sweet. He is so funny. He plays marbles on stream quite often with people in his channel, and it's always so much fun to look at. Because he gets really excited for whoever wins. He always gets really excited about it, and he laughs and he cries and all that stuff through it. So what did my game just do? Oh, my game just did that. I think that means that I should probably just quickly log in again and get my girl to an EM. Yeah, Dan is he's very, very good people. He is on the starting soon screen, so I'm assuming that it's semi-safe to just go and raid him. Guys, I want to thank you for hanging out with me today. Thank you for listening to me both babble and switching into a more serious gear. And thank you for accepting me as I am. Because what you see is what you see, not what you see because webcam and stuff. What you hear and sometimes see is what you get. And as long as I am good enough for you to want to spend your most precious commodity, your time with, I couldn't ask for anything more. So, I see Dan is showing up on camera, which means that we're gonna go raid him. Thank you for hanging out with me today, fam. I love you guys, you're incredible. And I know I will see you again. Not today. I will hang out with Dan, with you guys for a couple minutes, and then I'm gonna skedaddle right to bed, because this body needs another morphine tablet soon, and then it needs some rest, because I'm going to a concert tomorrow with a fantastic couple of singers. So yeah, let's see if we can do this here. Hi, Spox. I found my cats. Yeah, you gonna come and show up on camera before we go to bed?
There you are. Look at you, pretty boy. Look at your pretty self. Look at your pretty face. Hi, Mrs. Ken. Oh, that's a pretty boy.
So yeah, that's my pretty boy right there. We are gonna... Yeah, hang on a second, baby. Don't step on the keyboard, please, because then you are definitely gonna mess your mommy up. Because then yikes. Alright, Tough. Are you gonna go and spend some time with your grandma? You know what? I appreciate your grandmas. Grandmas is one of the most amazing thing in the world. I have been trying to talk my son into making me a grandma for the past 3 years. He's gonna be 26 soon. Still nothing. He's one of those guys that wants the right woman to have children with. I do understand and I do respect it. I just wish he would hurry up and find her, because I really want to be a grandma. So yeah, because grandmas are awesome. I loved my grandma. Both of them. Love both my grandmas. And I miss them dearly every single day. So do go spend some time with your grandma. Hug her. And tell her that she is a precious light in your life. And that you love her very much. And I will see you all very, very soon in Dan's channel. I am going to... Why is that doing this? Oh, come on. Okay, just as I'm trying to do that, Twitch is breaking my chat. It's disconnecting me from chat for some odd reason.
It's being little booger.
Yeah, exactly. I do understand my son, and I do respect... I accept, understand, and fully respect his wish to not just have children with any woman, but to have children with a woman that he can actually imagine himself growing old with. I completely get it. I just wish he would meet her soon. You know, because I would like to be alive when my grandchildren are born. Any which way, that is a debate for another night. We're gonna go show some love, share some love, shower some love on Mr. Lieutenant Dan Magicleg. I will see you guys over there. Love you guys. Good night.